Hi guys, it is Raythe here, and I wanted to have another AMA, which was going to be a little different, and then I was going to ask myself some questions this first time, and then you guys are going to ask questions that you want to hear in the comments. I think I really wanted to do this because I always want to sort of keep you up on the latest and greatest, but in this case, I also wanted to remind you of things that are really important about Raythe Reign and let new people know sort of like our philosophy, because that's really important. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is going to sound pretty darn boring and probably the last thing that I actually want to speak about, right? And that is cancellations and refunds. I know, really scintillating stuff. But this is actually really important because I think every December and January, we often have our big sale. And a lot of people's from the year past, their account renews if they forgot to cancel the renewal, and then they're panicked because they forgot, or, they're like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting this charge. And they immediately think when they contact us that it's going to be hard to get a refund. And it really isn't. But I understand why people feel that way. I think of subscription models in one of two ways, which probably a lot of you think about them as. One of them is in the gym membership way. They basically want to make it as hard as they freaking can for you to stop your membership. And they really don't care if you take advantage of their services or not. In fact, I don't know how many people actually take advantage, what percentage, but they couldn't actually service everybody who has a membership in their club. And so for them, it's just about those recurring payments. That is not Raythe Reign. I want you to be here, and the staff wants you to be here only if you want to be here and to be a part of it, not something that you've forgotten that you have or you want out of, but we wouldn't let you out. And the second thing is, it's a certain hair care model, which I will not name, but they also make it impossible for you to cancel. They keep sending you products and they keep claiming that you have to send a cancellation in triplicate written in blood and sacrifice your firstborn before they're going to let you out. Not us, because the whole idea is this is supposed to be fun and that we want you to actually be a part of this and want to be here. Just in general, when you look on our billing and account FAQ, and it says, what is the refund policy? And this is the truth of it. We want you to be happy with your time on Raythe Reign. We certainly don't want you to be paying for something you do not like or burst your budget. The point of the site is to have fun and be part of a community. Do we always give refunds? Sometimes we don't. We've had people, I'll give you an example just so you understand, but we're reasonable and we'll do our best to assist you. And basically, you just email myself or Jeremy and we will take care of it. The only time I've said no to a refund is when essentially someone signed up, they went through all the manga and they basically told me they expected there to be more manga and they wanted their $9.95 back. And I even considered giving them their $9.95 back, but then I was like, no, I think it's pretty clear how much manga there is on the site. So that was the one time I said no. Or if somebody who's basically signed up for 30 days on day 29 says, oh, I want my money back. But I'll give you another example where somebody had paid for a year and they needed money desperately. And so we honestly just prorated it and let them go on and honestly just continue to stay on through the year. So that's happened too. But truthfully, you forget to cancel, come to us. We will help you out. The next thing I think we get asked a lot, how many people work for Raythe Reign? 3. Well, 3 pretty much full-time. One and Mathia, who also works part-time, Olive, who works part-time, G-Wolf, and Sophia, who works part-time. So when you actually reach out, for example, to the members email or get the phone number for Raythe Reign, you're talking to me. Reach out to Jeremy. You're talking to Jeremy. There's really 3 people. You're not being sent to somebody who's making less than minimum wage and, it's just a job for them. No, you're talking to one of 3 people who have, obviously me, the site means the world to me. Kat's been here from the beginning. She's done everything. Jeremy, anyone who's dealt with Jeremy knows how patient he is. But you're talking to real people and people who can actually make things happen. So don't worry that when you reach out, you're going to get some kind of canned response, or you're going to have somebody who doesn't care about you. Each and every one of you matter to us. You're very important and we take it like that. But also do remember there's only 3 of us. So If just please be patient with us. We do our best. So we had a comment, and I get them every so often. And God knows when I'm doing the Dragon's Reign podcast, I wince about editing. Why do I not have an editor when I put these things up? How can you not do this, Raythe? I would love it if I could put up stuff that was really clean as the stuff that we put up on Amazon. But it's just not possible. It is seriously not possible. I normally don't like to talk about what can't be done. I normally like to talk about what can be done. And I never like to make excuses for why we don't do things. But we actually did have somebody doing proofreading back in the day, and it slowed the process down hugely. Worse than that, they probably got me stuff. Finally, I just started putting stuff up without them actually editing it. And then they would get it to me the next day or the day thereafter. And then I would have to go in while I was already writing the next chapter to try to edit the past chapter. And 99% of the people had already read the chapter with the typos. And so, yes, there would have been people who, coming through later would get the benefit of less typos. Notice I did not say no typos, but less typos. But it was basically, it just didn't make a lot of sense. And that was when I was only doing a very small amount of writing on the site. You guys know it's 3 days a week, every week, that I'm on here writing. And though I would love to tell you that it takes as short a time to read as it does to write, we all know that's not the case. It was just really not working. And I said, well, what do you guys want? We could have less chapters that are better edited, so I can take the time to make sure that they're really spick and span, or we can have more chapters and less edits. And the latter has always been what's been chosen. While I get less questions about this, I still do get people asking me, like, what story comes next? Where should I start reading? And I really recommend you now go to these amazing reading guides. They literally, if you click on any one of them, they sort of tell you what to read first, what to read next, what stories are interconnected, and that will really help, especially with the Winter Haven universe. I also get the question, are you going to make any of the serials into standalone books? As many of the older members know, I did do that in the past. I took Cursed, for example, and I took The Merman, or The Sea as it's called, and did that. I am not doing that anymore. Even though it is a lot of fun to do that, because I can take advantage of a lot of your comments and just the fact of living in the skin of those characters for quite a long time. But I'm not doing that anymore for the sense that A, it confuses people, as I found out. But B, I really want to offer you members something different. I think really, the Vampires Club novel is a good example. I do draw somewhat from Sanctuary, but it's obviously completely different. And the next book series I'm going to do, Cinders and Ashes, is going to be a fairy tale retelling as I've done in the past, but of a different fairy tale that we've never had. I want this to be more value to members because you get those books free if you're a member when they come out, before they go on to Amazon's KU. I just want to definitely, just give more value and more content. That also means for those of you who are hoping that, for example, one day I will take Everdark and post it on Amazon, that's not going to ever happen. So I want you to know that the only place you're going to be able to get Everdark is on Raythe Reign. I have had actually a lot of questions regarding whether I'm going to do for Everdark what I've done for Dragon's Reign, do an audio, like a podcast of some sort. If we do Everdark, and I know I can already hear the people going, it would be behind a paywall. I love doing audio, but just so anyone who's not really involved in how it's made, it's not simply me just speaking into a microphone. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and that actually costs quite a bit of money if we were to be really doing more than one thing. Right now, I have the brilliant genius Kat helping me, but simply put, I could have her doing this 24/7. I have other things for Kat to do. So if we were to outsource it, there is a significant cost. I just give you an example. If we would have a professional voice actor do this, not just me, but then also to have it, mastered and all this stuff. Something like Everdark would cost $15,000, and that's just a lot of money, as you guys all know. So it would really have to be something that we would charge for. Whether it would be something like an add-on, like if you pay $3 extra, you get all of it, or if it would be sold separately on our shop. I don't know. We love doing audio, and we are planning on doing a lot of different projects. But again, remember, we are 3 people and audio is just incredibly expensive. We do have audiobooks available of each and every one of the books out there, excluding the manga, obviously. And those are available on Audible or through Amazon. With Raythe Reign, since there are 3 of us, and then other tangential people, every single dollar really goes back into what you're seeing, how the site looks, how it runs, when we respond back to you, everyone's salaries, production values, us doing new stuff. You could almost trace your $9.95 and where it goes every single month. So I want you to really be, I don't want to say proud of that, because you're doing this because you enjoy the content and you are paying for it. But I really want you to know that you've made a lot of difference in my life and in the life of the staff and in the life of the artists. Really and truly, you have no idea how important this, the money you're giving is. And we're happy to producing content for you, but you're really supporting us as artists and business people, and basically just creating a new multimedia company is what you're really doing. And we can't thank you enough for that. Okay, so those are the general things that I wanted to talk about just today. I know they're a little bit more like boring, but that just means that you get to ask the really interesting questions in the comments below, and I will answer them in the upcoming weeks and months. And so anything you want to know about, some things we won't talk about, but ask it anyway. Can't hurt to ask. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say. And thank you, as always, for your support. And I can't wait to see what's gonna, come out in the comments below.